first got involved in mariculture about 8, 10 years ago. My family settled in Chesapeake in 1696, both sides, so we kind of have an oyster background. And I came here first time in 1981 by way of the Marine Corps. That's where I got to Beaufort. And I saw what awesome oysters we have here, and seeing the Chesapeake dock, I could really appreciate the quality of the water here and the oyster. And I quickly realized that we had the clustered oyster mainly, and that the single oysters were few and far between, that they lie at the low tide line. So, as one old timer said, if you can grow them, you'll sell them, because we got a really good oyster in South Carolina. A really unique setting. So, at the time, I didn't have much depth and knowledge in hatchery, so I was quite comfortable getting seed from Virginia. And as the industry developed, a more cautionary approach was taken towards importation of shellfish, and ultimately a moratorium was placed on it. So we had to figure out how to do it ourselves. And that wasn't an issue that was going to happen anyway. I had every intention of building a hatchery, but depending on out-of-state source, seed source, can be unreliable. You've got disease testings. There's a lot of roadblocks in place to protect our waters. And just demand has been outstripping supply. I'm sure every grower in here has been scratching their head at one point or another saying, where the hell am I going to get my seed? So I first concocted a little hatchery in my backyard. I live on a little island in Beaufort County, and it was the site selection, which is my first subject, and why I'm using this as an example is it was a poor site selection. Yes, it was my backyard, it was very convenient, but we have 8-foot tides, and it was near the dead end of the creek, and at low tide, the water was gone. And then you have to change water every other day or every day in hatchery. And if you don't have ready access to good, clean water, then you're out of the game. The water's the blood of the hatchery. You have bad water, it's not going to work. So also that summer, we had a year's worth of rain in a month and a half, and our salinity dropped down to 4 parts per thousand. You can grow frogs, I suppose, in that, but definitely not oysters. So a lesson was learned in that site selection. So when you're looking to plan a hatchery, you have to plan for excellent water quality, and water quality throughout the year, at least 9 months of the year, because you've got hatchery and nursery. Those pumps are feeding both systems. Secondly, your upland. Your hatchery is going to be upland, or your upwell is going to be upland. You have to make sure you meet all the county codes. I was the first one to do mariculture in Beaufort, and the county father said, "What's a mariculture?" We're used to our oyster roast and such. And they were very hesitant to give me any latitude. And that's where Sea Grant was able to come in. Julie Davis from South Carolina Sea Grant and National Sea Grant was able to give a neutral description of what mariculture is. And the county fathers loved it. The county council passed it unanimously. We did a text amendment and changed the codes, and mariculture was in Beaufort County. And that was a great job by Sea Grant. Good. Oh, I'm not very technical. Yeah, that's part of site selection. That is the center picture is our nursery. That was our third site selection. Our second site selection was at that piece of property. We got the county zoning change, but our hatchery and nursery were actually 300 feet upland, and pumping water upland can be problematic. Now you got to push it through filters, which is why that subject is water system design. You got good water, you can find. Now you got to get it upland to your system, and this comes again. We're rolling back to Sea Grant and Auburn. Julie had just graduated Auburn out of Scott's lab, and had the latest technology and tools to do hatchery. You're talking $10,000 pumps, if not more. So if you make a mistake, it's a costly mistake. So they were able, as well as John Supan too, his hatchery in LSU, he was able to provide up-to-date, on-time information so I could spend my money wisely. This wasn't funded by a university or BP or any philanthropist. This was out of my back pocket. So I wanted to make sure I did it properly. And with that, you're sizing your pumps. How do you know what size you want? You speak with professionals like Pentair, Aquatic Eco, System Aquakyle. They will give you the latest information to size your hatchery to the scale that you want. So once you get an idea, you're not coming. What happened?
You just said, those are finicky.
Finicky this now.
Yeah. We have this collar. It's not just him, we have this collar.
I broke it. No more slides. What's that?
That's not just you. There you go.
Yeah, that's our current configuration. Top left is our pier. Those are intake pumps. That was a unique scenario for Pentair Aquatic Ecosystems. They've never had to pull water in an 8-foot tide. And so you're pulling and you're pushing. Any pump expert will tell you you're better to push water than to pull water. It's better to push water through a straw than suck it through a straw. But with an 8-foot tide, we had to do some engineering. We thought about putting it on the floating dock, but they were concerned about habitation from boat wakes, etc. So we settled on putting it at the end of our pier. That water, those pumps, there's 4 pumps in total, serve hatchery and nursery. So when you've got your hatchery going, you're obviously pulling water every other day. In nursery, you're pumping water 24/7. So you want to be able to have those systems do dual duties as well as have redundancy. And the reason for 2 sets of pumps is after a few weeks, you're going to get biofouling build up in these pipes. Wherever there's a turn, you get friction and you can recruit biofouling. So every other week, you turn one pump off and turn another one on and let that one go anaerobic for a week. And this way, that pipe stays clean. And if these are pumps, they break. And you also have a backup. So it's important to have a backup. When you're in hatchery and nursery, you just can't, oh, I'll fix the pump later on. It's now. That water has to flow. Just like electricity for the hatchery. You have to have backup generators because when you lose power, the air stones go down. You're not aerating your tanks. Your larvae is going to die. So you have to have a lot of backups. You want to make it easy to clean. Keep it simple. Don't reinvent the wheel. Keep it simple as possible. You're going to want to look at in your nursery, you're going to look at your pump capacity even more. Hatchery is a slower flow of water because you're going through filtration. And again, if you've got really good quality water, you can minimize your filtration. Or you can go as far as John Supan did when he was at LSU and build this incredible hatchery. And if you ever get a chance, John, raise your hand, John. He did a video with Leslie Sturmer on his hatchery, and it's pretty incredible. It'll take you to the extent of what you can do to treat or polish water for your hatchery, and just how far and how expensive it can get if you have problematic water. Another new big piece of technology that's out there is the bottle nursery. It'll take your set larvae, which is all the way to the right, and carry it up to 2 millimeters with minimum space and a much more efficient system. You're eliminating your 150 micron screens. Your cleaning regimen is cut in half, and it grows a really good oyster. You can jump right into 750s or 1,000 sieves. And basically, it is what it is. If you start with a really good brood stock, like that oyster on the left, that was a female, I believe, and you have a good food regimen. We use the shellfish diet 1800. It just, for a small operation like us, it just doesn't make sense to have an algae culture going. We can order up the bottles, get them in a couple of days. You can tweak the recipe if you want to suit your needs. So good healthy eggs, good healthy sperm will get you really happy pedovelters that are in the middle. And that one right there is an eye larvae that's getting ready to set. In fact, he's looking to set. That foot out there is him looking for some culch to grab a hold of and set. And the one all the way to the left, that is a set oyster on a piece of microculture. That's about a 350 micron oyster. It's been set for about a day. And from there, they can jump into the bottle nursery, or they go out into the nursery itself. And again, with the nursery, your pump capacity matters. When we first set up one 10-pack system, the set oysters were doing great, and then they just kind of quit. They were just hovering at about 500 micron. And I was trying to figure out why. Well, I bought a bigger pump, pushed more water through, they sprang to life. So it's important to size your pumps to the end grow out. When these guys are getting up to 5 millimeters and getting ready to go out into the water, you want to have that pump capacity to get them growing and out. You don't want them hanging around the nursery. You want them growing and gone. One of the last things we do is we stay with the growers that we sell seed to. We communicate with them because we want to know how our product is faring and how they're growing. We want to make sure that their densities are proper. Density matters. Density is everything. Proper density will get good, even growth. So we stay with our growers. We also outfit them with gear. So it's a relationship that we keep, and that helps us learn about our seed, what performs, or what can be done better. That's it. Hatchery's a ball. It's only like 16-hour days. Best part is you can eat McDonald's, Burger King, and still lose 30 pounds. But it's fascinating to actually watch this process evolve in the hatchery. Any questions?
Any questions for Frank?
Yeah, would you do it again?
Ma'am?
Would you do it again?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. It's really cool, and we're getting better at it. And it's fun to watch the progress. Considering we went from a 200-gallon tank in my daughter's greenhouse fighting over tomatoes to, you give a show the facility?
Frank, how much seed are you producing?
The top left is the current state of the hatchery, and I'm sure a year from now it'll change yet again. This year, I believe our orders are up around 5 or 6 million.
Are you able to distribute any of that seed, or is it all staying on your farm?
Say again?
Are you producing enough seed to sell any, or is it all staying on your
Yes,
farm?
we're providing seed to all the growers in South Carolina.
Oh, awesome.
And that was the objective, and that was one of the conditions of Seed Grants assistance, was that I can't hoard this. This has to be good for the general public. And it is. I support the industry and everybody in it.
In your picture, Frank, on the upper right side of the picture, those blue tanks, that's your larval rearing tanks?
Yes. They're
Poly tanks?
the big blue conicals,
Oh, they're conifers.
and those the square are setting tanks.
Okay.
I don't know if any of y'all are familiar, I'll just take one extra second here. South Carolina DNR is well aware of it. When the jelly balls there was a jelly ball operation that tried to come to Beaufort and dump their jelly ball effluent to the tune of 1,000 pounds of salt and alum into a waterway 1,000 feet from my nursery. Well, after 2 years of litigation, they finally left. But those blue tanks up there, those were theirs, they're mine now. And we grow oysters there.
Also, you got those secondhand. You got those secondhand?
Yep.
Frank, I was wondering, you're talking about tides and pumping water and all. I know Rappahannock with our nursery, we have a massive floating dock.
Mhm.
It's got this big wheel that filters
Right.
water right through. Would that be something that would work the tidal situation here?
It can. I had a flood sheet at one point in time, but when I was walking down to the dock and one of my guys wanted to see the babies. And he was six change, almost 250 pounds, went loping down the dock and jumped onto the upweller. And over 100,000 seed got sucked out. So I don't use that anymore.
The other solution was to get rid of the 250-pound guy.
That is taking the course. But just for ease of use, an upweller system on land, it's a lot easier to work a system that's right at your waist. You can examine the silos, you can monitor all the systems, and just like hatchery, you're in constant surveillance. It's 24 hours a day, looking for problems, trying to find out what's around the corner, because it does change. As the water quality changes throughout the season, so does hatchery and nursery.
Thank you, Frank.